How's it going, guys? My name is Zach with the Movie Castle, and today we're going to be taking a look at Tales from the Darkside. This is Season 4, Episode 20, and is also the final episode of Tales from the Darkside. The finale of Season 4, the finale of the whole show. I mean, yeah, we would get a movie later on, and the movie really is the end of the series, but this is the last of the regular episodes, so that's pretty cool. Anyway, though, this episode is entitled Basher Malone, and it originally came out July 23rd, 1988. The episode was directed by Anthony Santa Croce and stars Vic Tayback, Denn, Marlene Casamento, and Steve Strong as Basher Malone himself. Also, if you guys are fans of Slumber Party Massacre, keep an eye out for an appearance from Brinkie Stevens in this episode. And overall, this episode is kind of a cheesy goofballs episode. Like, when I started on this season and I was looking through the names, it jumped out quite quickly that we were going out on an episode called Basher Malone. And honestly, being the final episode of the series, I was kind of hoping for something bigger and more epic and super scary. But no, we're going out on cheeseballs here. And admittedly, I'm not a huge wrestling fan. Maybe if you are, maybe you would get the jokes better or the stereotypes, or maybe you would just be into the wrestling. I don't know. So it didn't really have that hook for me. And honestly, most of the wrestling here seemed like bad fake wrestling, and it went on for quite a while. Basher Malone is the good guy of wrestling, very much eat your veggies and respect your mama. And honestly, it's 1988, so not quite the 90s yet, but it really did ring of that 90s PC school safe stuff that they would force down your throat when you were growing up. And Basher Malone seems honestly like a pretty lame character. I wish they had done something more with him, but he's not really that complex. There's no dark twist to him, no character complexity, and maybe he's supposed to be a parody, but they don't really push it super far. He's not hilarious, and I wish that if we weren't going to have a twist with him, we'd at least push him so far that he was laugh out loud funny, but he's not really. Overall, there are a few points in this episode that do push the cheesiness to an enjoyable level. For example, the portal to hell is in a Pepsi machine for some reason. That was pretty funny. And also the character of Basher Malone's mother, this sweet little old lady, she's a funny character, and she's where the episode hits proper parody, but sadly it's just her character, and Basher Malone's good guy persona doesn't really get funny outside of her. As it stands, there are a few okay cheeseball moments, and I didn't hate this episode or anything. But yeah, if you tell me Tales from the Darkside is going out on a cheesy wrestling episode, I'm gonna be disappointed. Overall, it's not the worst of the comedy episodes. You guys know I'm not a huge fan of those. It was okay, but nothing particularly special, but it just so happens to be the series finale. Cheeseball fans and wrestling fans, you may get a kick out of it, but in general, this really isn't a strong recommendation from me. All that being said, I do want to take a moment to break down and analyze a few things and talk a bit about the plot and more specifics. I'll be avoiding the end, so no major spoilers, but from here on out, let's take a bit of a deeper dive. We open up, of course, with a wrestling match. Basher Malone is fighting a masked wrestler, and the masked wrestler has a cigar-smoking evil manager character that hands him some brass knuckles in order to cheat. And surprisingly, even though this is an illegal move, no one seems to really care. The announcer openly announces it, and when the referee tries to take them away, the masked wrestler attacks him. Yeah, I think Basher would win this on a technicality, if nothing else. You think brass knuckles would be an immediate disqualification, but apparently this thing has no rules in it. Basher wins anyway, of course, and we get a little bit of an interview after the match. Basher's mother comes up on the ring with him, and she's this sweet old lady who brought milk and cookies to his wrestling event. And Basher talks about how this other guy, the evil manager, had all the big wrestlers, and that was all the people kids had to look forward to, and they weren't positive role models. So Basher Malone wanted to go in there, be a good guy, and say, hey kids, brush your teeth, listen to your mothers, all that school-safe 90s PC stuff. And boy, unless he was really an absolutely good wrestler, I don't know how anyone could be a huge fan of this guy. He's so safe and lame and boring. And with his little old mother there, that's, again, he does kind of get into that parody realm, but I really wish we pushed him farther, like if this was a joke on the upcoming 90s PC culture or something. But yeah, no, I don't know. He is who he is. Well, the evil manager is of course upset that Basher won and invites him back to his secret gym lair and says, I want you to fight my best guy in a no-holds-barred match, and if you win, I stop completely, and if you lose, you have to leave wrestling forever. And by the way, he says this during an on-TV interview, but then the match is just private, so boy, talk about teasing the public with a big event and then just not showing it to them. But oh well, he of course decides to go, and when he gets to the private wrestling event, the manager is just kind of upfront that he works for hell and all of his boxers are demons. He pops open the Pepsi machine, which, is this product placement? Because I don't know if a portal to hell is your best product placement, Pepsi, but whatever. Does that mean the Coke machine goes to heaven? I don't know. The little portal inside the door is kind of a fun effect, especially when the people walk through it. And we get a ring girl coming out, as well as another masked wrestler. He's a big guy that grunts and honestly is about the same as the last one, and I do wish this character was more special. He does have one gimmick though, that his weight goes up by the opponent's sin. So if you're a more evil person, the more he weighs and the harder he is to beat and the harder he'll hit. And keep in mind, Basher Malone is the good guy of wrestling, so why would you pick this guy to fight when his special skills would be darn near useless against Basher? Yeah, the gimmick is, for anyone but you, I'm really tough, but I'm gonna fight the guy that I'm not equipped to beat at all. That's dumb. And they do kind of say that maybe Basher has some pride issues, like he thinks too highly of himself, and he does start to kind of ignore his mama at parts. But overall, Basher's still a good guy and there's no dark twist with him. So honestly, this is a stupid gimmick. And from here on out, get ready for bad fake wrestling. It's best 2 out of 3, and we're gonna kind of watch him fight for a bit. Towards the end of the episode, there are a few fun, goofy gimmicks, especially when his mother gets a chance to be a little bit more involved in the plot. But overall, this is kind of just a standard goofy episode. I do like the points where it does push it, and it does make it a little bigger, and it does make it a little goofier. But, I mean, it's not super special or anything. Again, the right crowd might like it. If you're big into wrestling, and if you're big into the goofy stuff, you might get a kick out of this one. As it stands, I found it okay, but underdeveloped. So overall, this is a goofy cheeseball episode that I wish was bigger and more over the top. I don't hate it and it is what it is, but this is definitely not how I would have chosen to end the series. All that being said though, we're at the end of Darkside now. I can't believe it's over. A really fun show with lots of classic episodes. I will be doing a season 4 review covering the whole season, and of course I will be getting to that movie pretty soon, so there will be more videos. But as far as regular series videos, we're done. We've covered them all. That's crazy and I can't believe it. But anyway, to everyone who's watched so far, thank you for watching. To everyone who's liked and subscribed, thank you. You really are helping the channel out. I'll leave a relevant playlist on the bottom. This should be my Tales from the Darkside playlist. And as of now, you should be able to click here and watch my reviews for every single episode in this series. Anyway, have a good day. I'll see you guys again very, very soon. Playlist here. Have a good day now.